Hey, we're about to start the show, and you know the drill. If you've been here before and you have something important to share, please add a capital letter Q to your comment. And if you are watching live for the first time, please let us know by writing the word new, and we'll give you a nice little welcome. Enjoy the broadcast. Enjoy the broadcast. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Coffee and Headlines. It is Saturday, April 6th, and it is a pleasure to see you this morning. I hope you're doing great wherever you are. If you are here in the city, we are still enjoying some amazing... Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Oh, Gary. Yes, we are going to touch base on that. It is spreading around like we know how. Anyhow, here we are. If you're still in Puerto Vallarta, or if you live here full time like I do, it is amazing weather. I mean, it's April and it's still really comfortable and it's fresh at night. It is so bizarre, but in the best possible way. And if you are elsewhere, I hope wherever you are that you are happy with your surroundings, that you are not unhappy with loud restaurants or whatever it is that pushes your buttons. We might as well go there as long as we're talking about button pushing. Yes, the Gabby's thing is all over the place, and it really, it's so all over the place that it's a dark screen. There you go. This situation is being talked about a lot. There are a lot of people that are talking about this. Let me fix this other screen as well. Boom, boom, boom. There you go. This is another article that talks essentially about the same things that we talked about yesterday. There is no update on this article, but I couldn't help but to be amazed at the amount of buzz there is online about this. And unfortunately, the amount of vitriol that is spreading out there, particularly when it has to do with anti-American sentiments. And this really bums me out. And this made me realize that the worst part of the situation, which we still don't know much about, in all fairness, the papers have not been very forthcoming. And we haven't really seen both sides of the picture. It can't be pretty. But my takeaway, and this really bumps me out, is that there are so many amazing English-speaking people living here in Puerto Vallarta full time. And I am talking about the type of citizens that are here by choice, that are happy with the surroundings. I mean, we all have something to gripe about every now and then, but are just happy to embrace the life that we live here in Mexico. And it is unfortunately sad that when it comes to creating perceptions about people, these very fine English speaking locals um, have nothing to do with the very negative impression that we're getting from two very specific people. Again, I certainly hope that we'll have more clarity about what is going on in the near future, and this may actually come today. Today, there is a protest something, I don't know what you call it, but Gay Guide Vallarta took to their Facebook page to spread the word uh, of a protest that will take place at Gaby's restaurant at 5 p.m., giving people the opportunity to support the restaurant by way of signatures. Since headlines about the situation have reached state level, yes, I'm reading articles about this in Guadalajara papers, I'm fairly certain that the other news outlets will be present, and hopefully we will have a clearer picture and an accurate picture of the situation in the coming days. In the meantime, again, my personal takeaway is if you choose to be in a place or in a situation where you're unhappy, don't blame people around you for it. Just find a place where you can be happy. And that's just me. You tell me what you think. Somebody wrote who was it? No. Who was it? Somebody wrote, I don't know. Well, anyhow, we'll get to your comments in a little while. In the meantime, I also have more news to share, of course. Apparently, Transportes Medina, the suburban public transportation bus line that connects Puerto Vallarta with the Nayarit side of the bay, has increased their prices by 25%, and this is more than anticipated by users. Now, this may not mean a lot to you personally, but it means a lot to the thousands of workers that use these buses on a regular basis to get from Nayarit to Puerto Vallarta and come to work. So if you have employees that rely on this type of commute, be mindful of this unexpected increase. It's worth remembering that an increasing number of people who used to live in Puerto Vallarta proper that work here, that make a living here, have been forced to move further away from our city because of increasing rents. And how much are rents increasing? Well, you have to love this. According to Numbeo, or Numbeo, I don't know how you pronounce it. This is a website that keeps track of cost of living in different places. Puerto Vallarta, the so-called friendliest city in the world, is also the one with the highest rents in all of Latin America. The average monthly rent here, according to them, is $1,112 US and 61 cents. Thank God to my landlord that charges a lot less than that. But just keep this in mind. Numbers 2 through 5 on the list, on this list of highest rents in all of Latin America are the cities of Monterrey and Mexico City here in Mexico. Then they're followed by Panama City, and then San Jose in Costa Rica. Oh, and Guadalajara comes in at number 6. So there you have it. Not much we can do or say about that, but I guess that's what's going on out there. And speaking of what's going on out there, let's take a look at the weather forecast just to see what is going on. Oh, today is a perfect day to go LARPing. I have no idea what LARPing is. Maybe somebody can help us out. But I can tell you that it is 23 degrees. Humidity is at 62%, and our weather forecast for today indicates that we'll enjoy partly cloudy skies throughout the day with a high of 27 and a low of 17. Mostly clear skies tomorrow, but a few clouds may be wandering around with a high of 27 and a low of 17. And Monday, which is eclipse day. According to Snarky Weatherman, we are going to have clear skies throughout the day with a high of 26 and a low of 27. Let me see what else we have. Oh, this is a no-brainer. Why does the beach access at Las Glorias smell like piss? And it's not a joke. It's quite simple because the city administration has chosen not to open public restrooms there for over 4 years. And the nearest public restroom is 20 minutes walking distance, according to a number of beach vendors. I bet that if the restrooms have been closed for years, they must be quite skanky and stinky as well. And what about tourists and visitors? Where do they go? Well, I don't know what to tell you, but for a city that is dedicated to tourism, all I can say is if you go to the beach there, make sure you, I don't know, go before you go. That was supposed to be funny, but I guess it's not. Never mind. And the cat is out of the bag. Yesterday, I thought about this after our broadcast, and when I mentioned that a number of you have been interested in coming to my music appreciation presentations, but are not here. So we are going to give this a go for the first time. And now that we have the resources to do so, we found another way to raise a little bit of money for Coffee and Headlines by offering live presentations online of the music presentations. So the first one is going to be about this Requiem retrospective that I put together just a few days ago. And it's going to go live online on April 12th at 4 p.m. local time. Now, what this means is that you can watch it live and comment and ask questions and all that good stuff. If you are too busy, you can watch it later on. You will have 1 week, 7 days to watch it whenever you want and pause it and so forth and so on. So you will have the chance to see what the in-person music appreciation presentations are like. The cost is not offensive, I hope. I think I priced them at $15 US if you are not a Coffee and Headlines member, and $5 US if you are. Let me know how you feel about that. Too much money, too little money, I don't know. We're just trying to make sure that we find new and creative ways to produce an income. So there you have it. I will have the information available in the show notes. I see that 3 people have already bought tickets. It is very much appreciated. And speaking of tickets, I will have you know that I went to the theater last night in Puerto Vallarta. Think about that statement for a second. Going to the theater in Puerto Vallarta. No, I'm not talking about going to see a show. I'm not talking about going to see a tribute. We went to the theater last night and we loved every minute of it. What a privilege to be able to go to the theater in Puerto Vallarta. And this is, of course, thanks to Sandy McDonald's wonderful production of Ken Ludwig's Leading Ladies. This is a farce, a gender-bending farce. I won't give away the plot in any way, but the experience was theater-going experience. Why? Well, first of all, because there was a stage, and I will show you the stage in a second. There were costume changes, there was scenery, there was background music, there was lighting, there was the option to buy munchies and wine, and the Sula Society was there to this is a nonprofit organization that looks after dogs. They were there to sell stuff, and the experience was not luxurious because it was only 250 pesos per person. That is less than what I charge for my music appreciation presentations, by the way. I go for 300 pesos. It was not luxurious, but it was definitely privileged. What a pleasure to go enjoy live theater, and a comedy that made us become engaged, and we loved every minute of it in Puerto Vallarta. And this is, of course, Sandy's company called Teatro Sin Borders, which is meant to embrace people of all origins. And lo and behold, there were young people, old people in the cast, well, older. And it was wonderful. Of course, this is taking place at the American School in Marina Vallarta. And for those of you that haven't seen the stage at the American School, it's an outdoor stage, and look at the size of it. It is probably I would say without hesitation that this is the second largest stage in the city. Well, not, okay, we have Teatro Vallarta, which is ginormous. We have the Los Arcos Amphitheater, which is fairly large, but it's not equipped. But this is the second largest theater stage in Puerto Vallarta. Incidentally, this stage was made possible. The American School has always had a long tradition of doing their own student musicals, but at some point, a parent of a student, if I recall the story correctly, several years ago, endowed the school with enough resources to increase their arts programs with an improved stage and rehearsal rooms and music classrooms and so forth. And Sandy has been very, very brilliant in connecting with the American School to be able to become a permanent fixture of the offerings by the American School, which is really awesome when you think about it, because it allows her to connect with young students who may have a thing for being actors and becoming part of these productions when they happen. And how luxurious is it that you actually get a theater program, a multi-page, staple-bound theater program. And my only mistake, which was partly my fault and partly the environment, because I didn't read this, while I was waiting to sit down, because I was chatting with people and so forth and so on. And by the time the play started, it was dark enough that you could not read it. But when I came home, I went to sleep, actually. But this morning, I took a look at the program, and it has fascinating information about each and every one of the individuals involved in this. I really wish I had read it before the play, because I learned so much about the actors that I wish I had had that information with me before I watched the play. But even without it, we all got there. We were sitting back, relaxed, and by the end of the second act, we were all sitting on the edge of our seats, trying to figure out what kind of funny outcome will come out of this. The attention to, oh my God, more photos before I forget. Look at the staging. This is not a shitty stage. I mean, the scenery was very well put together, and sometimes the curtains were open, and sometimes the production closed the curtains to make changes and so forth and so on. Again, this is about two Shakespearean actors that are looking for a place to perform, and then they find the possibility of getting a hold of a lot of money. Anyhow, I'm not going to spell this, but I will say this. For 250 pesos, it was extraordinary value, and it was fun, and it was entertaining, and we had a chance to talk to the cast after the performance was over, and we could see how tightly bonded they had all become through the rehearsal process, and it shows when they're performing. There were so many details in the play, from the way each and every one of the characters used their feet. I mean, they all stood or moved or danced in a very specific way that had to do with the personality of their characters. And it was just brilliantly done. And I'm not a theater person. I don't know much about theater. I just like to pay attention to details. So I know that they have a few more presentations to go. I think they have this coming week worth of shows. So if you are in Puerto Vallarta, I cannot recommend this enough. It is really a new bar for community theater here in Puerto Vallarta. It was splendidly done. One thing that is a little bit of housekeeping, if you, like me, attract mosquitoes, this is an outdoor venue, so it's perfect at night. It's breezy. Bring a shawl. Some of my friends brought coats. I was not quite cold, but I should have brought one of my own shawls. And bring bug repellent if you attract mosquitoes like I do. Other than that, prepare to laugh silly about a wonderful comedy and a bunch of really silly situations. And what a charismatic cast. It was just phenomenal. That's it. The end. I'm done gushing about that. But go see it. And I will put the link again in the show notes for you to be able to find it. And remember, Sandy, when we interviewed her in the spotlight last week, did mention that if you mention my name, Paco, you get 2-for-1 tickets. But I'm going to tell you what, if you can afford it, pay the ticket, because you will be supporting something that is only going to get better moving forward. And with that, let's take a look at what is on your mind this morning. And there you go. There's my little music. But it's a little louder than usual. Let me turn it down. Let's see. There's a cue from Albert. Oh, there you go. We went to see this. We did. We were together. We went to see Leading Ladies last night at Teatro Sin Borders, and it was fantastic. Anybody who is still here in town should go see it and support this wonderful theater. Oh my goodness, Albert, I love your comment, but you make it sound like we're all going to leave to go somewhere. And we're not. We're not. There's a bunch of us that live here year-round, and I'm sure you didn't mean to imply that we all disappeared in the summer, but just in case you were wondering, we are like 250,000 strong during the summers. Let's see what else. Larcito, who was there with us as well, he's looking at the Leading Ladies playbill. I tell you, I found out so much about these actors. Just brilliant, brilliant people. Loved it. Let's see. Comments about Gaby's. There's a lot of comments about Gaby's. What can I tell you? Purum pim pum pum. Lots of hellos. Lots of hellos. Comments about Gaby's. I don't know that this is meant for me, but I suppose this is meant for everyone. My wish in this whole situation is that we have enough clarity about the situation to act rationally, and we'll see how it unfolds. I mean, so many of these things are out of our control. Barbara, who has been on a pozole goose chase ever since I mentioned it, went to Cenaderia Chepina. That is wonderful to hear. Kathleen says, I hope the people who go this evening stay around until 2 and 3 a.m. and then make as much noise as possible. And I have to say, Kathleen, I appreciate your comment, but I hope that doesn't happen, because that is not going to solve the situation. I mean, I can appreciate where you're coming from, but let's see what happens. Hopefully that won't happen, if I may say so myself. John says, I love Gaby's. ¿Qué happened? Well, watch yesterday's broadcast or check out the show notes. Let's see. Thank you for that. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Express yourself kindly. Ba-dum, bum, 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 bum. Preach! Preach, Fred! I love it. We can support our neighbors without making a problem bigger. Educate yourself and remember we are all human. Thank you very much for that, Fred. That has been my sentiment all along. I hope I have conveyed that. I don't mean to convey anything else. And for anybody else, again, let us get all the facts before we start getting ugly, jumpy, startled. Oh, thank you very much, Brian. LARP is live action role play. The only expression that I know like that is YART, and I learned it from you. And YART is Yarn Acquisition Road Trip, which I love. Yes. Let's see. Boom, boom, boom. Yes, Angelica, you are absolutely correct. Hotels and restaurants cannot find workers as easily as they could because the salaries are very low and the rents and the food and transportation are expensive. Oh, Jim, thank you so very much. Thank you so very much for signing up for Requiem. You know, I hope it's going to go well. I have no reason to think why it shouldn't. One thing that I will say is knowing how the quality of sound on live broadcasts can vary a lot in live presentations according to the bandwidth that you have wherever you are. I'm aware of that, and while the music samples that we're going to listen to may not sound as good as I personally would like, for those of you that have never attended one of my presentations, at the end, I always share a Spotify playlist of all the music covered in the presentation. So if you are watching and it doesn't sound so very good because we are watching live, please know that at the end you will have access to this Spotlight playlist, which then you can listen to at your leisure on your headphones, on your stereo system, however you do your music listening. I'm excited. Diane says, excited about the online music presentation, signed up this morning. Thank you. Thank you for the support. I appreciate that. I appreciate that very much. Karen says $5 US for your music appreciation presentation is more than reasonable. Well, it's $5 for members because there's going to be more of these coming on with other kinds of topics. I've been working on this. You may want to think, oh, well, maybe I should become a member, or maybe you want to consider paying for these separately. I don't know, but there's going to be more of this coming moving forward. More comments about Leading Ladies. Leading Ladies is a must-see, honestly. Physical comedy with humor, costume changes, great set, support community theater, and go see this play before it leaves. Again, we went to the theater, and that is a big loaded statement when you think about it. Going to the theater in Puerto Vallarta to see a play. What a privilege. Gary Bertels drops a big comment. Let's see. While I do stay in tourist areas, I spend most of my time with locals. Outside of them, I am typically the only gringo. My friends often have to explain that. Yes, I am in the right place. Yes, I really do like the food. And no, I am not going to be high maintenance. I get a lot of stares, but a simple smile and all that gets me in the door. And there's more to that. And you see, that is great, Gary. If you're connecting with the local culture, then I think you are gifting yourself with a broader perspective of where you happen to be at this moment in your life. We all owe it to ourselves to do this from time to time. A couple saying at the peninsula mentioned the American School has a season for the symphony. We're hoping to catch this next season. I'm not entirely certain if the orchestra plays there or not, but I'm sure they will announce it in due time. Pam 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 beam. Let's see. Oh, Pamela! Oh my God, you were amazing, Pamela. I'm not gonna give it away, but she brought me my laugh. Oh my God, you were so awesome. I had no idea you were an actor. Um, wow. Thank you. Thank you. Again, you actors, you community theater people, um, you're not going to change Puerto Vallarta in a year or two. Just everything that you're doing will take a while to land in the mindset of English speaking locals. So keep going at it. Please don't stop. Oh, wow. Let's see. Spencer says, I need feedback regarding temporary residents. I contacted Herman Kaunko here in Denver as instructed for processing the paperwork. I am German citizen and U.S. citizen. However, when I spoke to the representative, the German counsel, she did not know about the process. I appreciate feedback from anyone. There you go. This is from Spencer. If anybody has any advice, just get in touch with him directly. John, who was the director, is in the house. Thank you so very much for an amazing evening. Thank you so very much. Let's see. Oh, Daniel, thank you very much for that. This is my green shirt. Yay. More great comments for last night's show. I love it. Purim pum 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 pum. And this brings us to the end of today's broadcast. Yes, we made it through another week, and I'm very happy. I am so happy that we went to the play last night. Thank you again, Sandy McDonald of Teatro Sin Borders, for the very generous giveaway you gave during the spotlight this past week. For those of us that went last night, we have already determined that it's going to be our mission to spread the word during this week. And for those of you, if you are here and want to clear your mind of whatever stress you have for 2 hours and laugh out loud at a very nicely put together show, give it a go. And now it's time to work. I keep working because we have lots of things to get ready for. And of course, Monday is Eclipse Day. What is going to happen? Is the world coming to an end? Well, yesterday I joked about a certain conspiracy theorist. And wouldn't you know, she tweeted about it. Maybe the world is coming to an end, but hopefully not today. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you again on Monday. Yes, bye.